This great pot is proud of our flags.
What are you cutting them down for?
I hate the whole idea of it.
That's ridiculous. What are they doing to you?
Racist.
Racist? Why? By putting a... By...
Doublethink means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. For example, to call the national flag a symbol of hate one day, but then embrace that same flag the next day because your favourite political party changed their stance on the issue. To tell deliberate lies while genuinely believing in them. To forget any fact that has become inconvenient, and then, when it becomes necessary again, to draw it back from oblivion for just so long as it is needed, to deny the existence of objective reality. Those two quotes, of course, most of you will recognise from George Orwell's 1984, a book which is becoming more relevant by the day as Keir Starmer in the UK Labour Party seem to be hell-bent on playing the role of the totalitarian government that's portrayed in the novel. This week they've shown the stunning ability to call the English and British flags racist one day and then to embrace those flags the next in order to further their own political purposes. Whether Orwell is just an incredible visionary or, as some suggest, he had knowledge of a long-term secret society plan, I don't know. I entertain all the theories. There's no doubting, though, the similarity in what's taken place. Up until a few days ago, it was considered by left-leaning progressives to be racist or bigoted to show any pride in being English or British. They spent years calling you racist, spitting on the flag, waving any other flag than the one of the nation that they live in. The nation that provides for them. And how quickly they've gone and transitioned to suddenly loving the flag, waving it en masse with such enthusiasm at their conference, signalling to their base that the party line has shifted. And now, all their devoted followers will play along waving flags with no memory of their previous resentment towards the flag. Memory hold, to borrow another phrase from 1984. A complete 180 with zero acknowledgement of the change, just acting as if it had always been the case. He accepted everything. The past was alterable. The past never had been altered. Oceania was at war with East Asia. Oceania had always been at war with East Asia. And of course, by the end of the novel, as Winston Smith is sat in the chestnut tree, having capitulated, his re-education complete, having betrayed Julia, and Julia having betrayed him, he would concede that freedom is slavery, that 2 + 2 = 5, should the party say equals 5, and he would state that Oceania was at war with Eurasia. Oceania had always been at war with Eurasia. They sneered at you because you were raising your flag on your street. They foamed at the mouth as they tried to rip your flags down, which was actually pretty funny. Why do they always look like that? I call this the diversity, equity and inclusion phenotype. Or they'd worship the other flag, you know, that full-on rainbow trans abomination that's barely a few years old. They'd worship that like a false god.
At the end of the day,
I'll just head on down to the protest then.
right, so put your flag away until you get there.
What's happening here?
They think that I've got to put my flag down. I can't have it at any part in the city or anywhere.
Why's that?
There's
I've got to put it
conditions
away
in
and
place.
take it back out my bag. And
That he can't have his flag?
There's conditions in place in relation to protest.
There's Palestinian flags flying along there, you know.
They're in their designated protest area.
British cops were chastising the public for carrying an English flag or a Union Jack, even arresting some of them. One example, apparently because it might upset a group of protesters who were waving all sorts of foreign flags. This cop here who ripped that flag from the girl should be tried as a traitor. Obviously, I've got my own views, as you will as well, on this whole Palestine-Israel thing, But Palestine, Israel, ISIS, Pakistan, rainbow or trans flags should not have any priority over any flags of the UK in the UK. I mean, if I got upset over seeing any of those other flags on display, then I guarantee you no cop's going to go up and rip them down to protect my feelings. But the British can't wave the British flag in Britain because those who wish to wave foreign flags will be upset? Are you fucking kidding me? Suddenly, out of nowhere, Starmer says that the Labour Party is proud of their flags, and then he goes on to spin that it's okay to call the flag racist if someone holding it is telling a Chinese restaurant owner to go home. This being a complete misrepresentation of most people who have migration concerns.
Telling a Chinese takeaway owner to go home, that's not pride, that's racism. We will fight you with everything we have because you are the enemy of national renewal.
And he ends that segment by saying that he will fight you with everything that he has and that you are the enemy of national renewal. National renewal, a propaganda phrase that they've dreamed up to manipulate the simple-minded. Well, I am saying that Keir Starmer and the Labour Party are the enemy of hard-working, patriotic British people. Keir Starmer, just another Marxist who's never done a hard day's work in his life. I mean, it's a hell of a marketing campaign, I'll give them that. No doubt they've gone and spent a fortune to ask PR firms how to win back credibility, and the answer that they got was to start waving the Union Jack again. You know, simply show them the way, have most of your devoted followers start by waving the flag, and the sheep will follow. And then immediately after his speech, every devoted Labour social media account was posting slight variations of the same phrase. Starmer's best speech ever. An obviously pre-planned attack on the senses of the masses. You know, if we all do it at the same time, then the doublethink will kick in. Some people, in fact probably most people, are just not mentally equipped to understand what's going on around them. They'll fall in line and repeat the slogans, and it's been learnt from childhood. A party member is required to have not only the right opinions, but the right instincts. Many of the beliefs and attitudes demanded of him are never plainly stated and could not be stated without laying bare the contradictions inherent in IngSoc, that's English socialism in the novel. If he is a person naturally orthodox, in newspeak a good thinker, he will in all circumstances know, without taking thought, what is the true belief or the desirable emotion. But in any case, an elaborate mental training undergone in childhood and grouping itself round the newspeak words crime stop, black, white and doublethink makes him unwilling and unable to think too deeply on any subject whatsoever. As I said, many just simply are not equipped to think. They are not in control of their own thoughts. And ironically, many of these types are loaded up with university degrees, even PhDs, as I have made many jokes about before. How can I help it, he blubbered. How can I help seeing what is in front of my eyes? 2 and 2 are 4. Sometimes, Winston, sometimes they are 5. Sometimes they are 3. Sometimes they are all of them at once. You must try harder. It is not easy to become sane. So if you are frustrated with large-scale, unchecked mass migration and the endless luxuries handed to illegal migrants, and then you go and protest while waving your flag and calling to have your country back, well, then they'll call you a racist and they'll say that your flag is a symbol of hate. Whatever you do, do not memory hole this.